Topic 5, God as Prophecy Giver. Welcome to Biblical Studies 2035 O-Levels Cambridge Exam Series. This is your course coordinator Azor and your instructor Dr. Uru Journalist. So the texts to be studied under this topic 5, God as Prophecy Giver, are Isaiah chapter 52 verse 13 till Isaiah chapter 53 verse 12, Isaiah chapter 59 first 19 verses, and then the complete book of Jonah. So Isaiah 52 verse 13 till Isaiah 53 verse 12 are referring to suffering servant. So who is the suffering servant? Suffering servant is the Jesus or the Messiah. And what are the key themes of this chapter? That prophet Isaiah describes a servant of God who suffers on behalf of others, but later on ultimately he is honored by God. And why is it important? Because it is one of the most famous messianic passages in the Old Testament. Christians believe it because it points to Jesus Christ and it teaches about suffering, sacrifice, and salvation. Now, who is the servant? The servant is chosen by God. He is humble and obedient, rejected by people, willing to suffer, and ultimately exalted by God, ultimately given respect or high rank by God. So, how to study this chapter? Some student was asking me that I may explain that how to study the topic 5 of God is Prophecy Giver, and in that he or she was having some difficulty regarding Isaiah chapters. So, how to study this whole chapter, like from chapter 52 from verse 13 till chapter 53 verse 12. So from chapter 52 verse 13 till 15 point out to Father praising the works of the servant, and then in chapter 53 verse 9 verses they refer to Israel confessing that it has despised Jesus, and then the last three verses from uh, verse number 10 to 12 of chapter 53, they refer to significance of the servant's death. So students, this is the most easiest way to study this chapter because Isaiah chapters are a bit tricky to study and to comprehend. So moving forward, what is the secret sauce for suffering servant passage? The secret sauce or the questions that have been asked again and again in the exam paper by the examiner, and up till now this is the most favorite question of the examiner regarding Isaiah chapter 53, 52, and 53, and this is the prophecies mentioned in Isaiah 52 and 53 and fulfilled in the New Testament. So you may look through all this passage and find it for yourselves. Otherwise, we have notes compiled for you, and if you would like to buy them, contact me on my email address mentioned at the end of the video. So next is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19 verses, and how to study this this text regarding the topic. Now, verse 1 to 8 is referring to separation from God, how the Israelites have been separated from God, um, what are their evil ways, evil things that they are doing. And then from verse 9 to 15 is the sin confessed, like the sin confessed by Israelites that they have wronged Jesus Christ. And then uh, is the verse 16 till 19, which explains the Redeemer of Zion. So the Redeemer of Zion is referring to God. And in these verses, there is a mention of the intercessor. Who is an intercessor? Intercessor or a mediator is someone who is like median or is like a source of interacting God and his people. So the intercessor is referring to Jesus Christ. So, moving forward, the last section of the text under the topic of God as prophecy giver is Book of Jonah. So, in chapter 52 and 53 of Isaiah, there is a prophecy regarding Jesus Christ, suffering servant, which have been fulfilled in the New Testament. Then, in chapter 59, there is a prophecy regarding there is a prophecy regarding intercessor like Jesus Christ, a mediator who comes and mediates between God and his people. And then in book of Jonah, the prophecy is given regarding the destruction of the city of Nineveh. So that is why all these chapters are included in the topic of God as prophecy giver. So in the three texts that we are studying, in all of these, God is portrayed as giving a prophecy. So what happens that God tells Jonah to go to Nineveh. Jonah refuses and sails towards Tarshish. Then God sends a violent storm, and sailors discover that Jonah is responsible, and he is thrown into the sea. Then Jonah, and what is the key theme of this of this book is that Jonah tries to escape, and God's plans cannot be avoided, and it also tells us about the importance of obedience. So I've come up with a map again, students, regarding this video. This is really very important. So here, like here at Joppa, um, Jonah is standing, and Jonah had to go to uh, Nineveh via Joppa. And from where did he belong? Jonah belonged from Gath Hefer, and he had to go to Nineveh. This was an order from God, which was only 550 miles away, but he ran from God's will, and he went to Tarshish, which can be seen on the left hand side of the slide, which is 2500 miles away from uh, Joppa, but Nineveh was only 550 miles. So what he did, he flee from the will of God. And this is a small video in which you can see that the boat is sailing and there is a storm. So what does Jonah do? Jonah sits and hides at the basement of the ship. First he sleeps, and then he's woken up by the mariners, and later he confesses that the storm is due to him. And then what happens that they cast lots, and lot falls on Jonah, and then Jonah asks them to throw him into the sea. This was Jonah's own wish. And then what happens is that he did that to calm the sea, and then a great fish swallows him. For 3 days and 3 nights he stays in the belly of the fish. And later on, he prays from the belly of the fish. Now, his prayer is also of great significance because, again, it has been asked in one of the exam paper of the Cambridge 2035 Biblical Studies, and I think it was worth 6 marks. So you have to remember this prayer. You have to learn it by heart. So what happens next in the book of Jonah? That after 3 days, fish expelled him to his destined location, which was the city of Nineveh. And God gives Jonah a second chance. He go to Nineveh. He warns people that the city will be destroyed. The people repent, and king orders fasting and prayer. And what was the degree of the king? That what he ordered for the people to observe fasting, like, and who fasted, the people, animals, everyone. So that the decree is also um, quite significant, quite important for exam point of view. And then what happens that God forgives Nineveh, he shows mercy, he does not destroy it. But Jonah becomes angry because the city is spared. He says that all his travel, all his trouble was in vain. If God had already planned of showing mercy to Nineveh, then why did God send him to that city? So God causes a plant to grow over Jonah where he was sitting while he was angry, and later it withered away due to a worm eating it. Again, Jonah was angry, and then God teaches Jonah a lesson about compassion. And what this whole passage teaches about God and about humans, you can see it on my screen, and the slide, you may take a screenshot of it and remember it for your exam point of view. You can write it down. And then I've come up for an evaluation based question that evaluate according to the passage whether God is a God of mercy. So this is an 8 marks question. You may attempt it for your own practice. You may write it down in your notebooks and then evaluate it from a teacher, or assess it according to the video that I made regarding the evaluation based question. This is one of the previous video. You may go through my videos and find it. So if you want to reach out to me in any way, if you want one-to-one tutoring, you want me to prepare you for your final exams, then you may reach out to me on my email address mentioned on your screen, uruj@gmail.com. That's all for today, students. May God bless you. May you have a nice preparation, and may you ace the exam. God bless you. Bye bye.